I regularly get a bunch of questions about hormones. I will be responding to these questions over a series of videos. I want to remind everyone that I am not a medical doctor, so I cannot provide that perspective. However, I have observed a number of people go on hormones, and I have knowledge based on this collective experience. Also, I will be talking about testosterone and estrogen in each video if there are any differences between the two. Most of the time there are a lot of similarities though. Before I begin, I want to make an important point about hormones. Testosterone does not make you a man, and estrogen does not make you a woman. I agree with what science has already confirmed. You already are the gender you feel yourself to be. Scientists around the world have discovered neuroanatomy and neurofunction which aligns with the gender you identify with. I know that most of the world will disagree with what I just said. However, these people are likely either ignorant or resistant to the evidence. There is a parallel experience in history to this. There was a time when people who had seizures were thought to be possessed by demons, and the mode of treatment was performing exorcisms. The same medical science that provides a medical explanation for seizures also explains what happens to those who are transgender. Again, hormones will not make you a man or a woman. You already have the necessary biology for that. What hormones do is they make you feel comfortable and allow your outside to reflect what you know to be true on the inside. The way your hormones are administered will influence the speed of your changes. If you are trans feminine and you are not ready for changes, then a minimal option would be to begin anti-androgens or testosterone blockers. This will stop any new hair loss on your head and any new hair growth on your body. If you are not able to go on estrogen, or you are able rather, I want you to start hormones slowly. You can start with pills first. Your changes will be slower than if you chose injections, which is the fastest path. There are claims that taking the pill sublingually, which means allowing it to absorb under your tongue, will yield results at the same speed as injections. I just don't see this happening with any of my clients who have practiced this. In theory, the pill absorbs quickly into the bloodstream in this manner, but in reality, the changes still come very slowly, which is the final option for estradiol, which is the patch. This works at about the same speed as the pill, and it is more slowly than injections. The patch actually, though, can peel off if you have a highly physical job. So that's something to think about. If you are going on testosterone, you have the option of gel, patches, or injections. The gel and patches have slower changes than injections. Injections are the fastest. The gel requires that you not touch anyone for a while after you put it on because it can transfer to the other person and be absorbed. The patch, as I just said, can peel off if you have a highly physical job. Estrogen blockers are not needed for trans men because testosterone overpowers estrogen and basically shuts it down. Estrogen blockers are available. However, these are most often used for those who are 13 or younger and who will be put on hormones later in life. Hormones and blockers will affect your fertility levels, not just in the short term, but in the long term. Your body may never be what it once was prior to beginning hormones. If you want children who are direct descendants, I recommend you research your options and their costs before you begin hormones or blockers. I read a study which found that trans men who were on testosterone and went off of it to get pregnant and to give birth have higher rates of children on the autism spectrum. Researchers are still learning how cross-sex hormones influence offspring for someone who's been exposed to them. The best thing to do to be safe is to bank your sperm or eggs if you want direct descendants. The other option is a wonderful option. There are children in the world who need a loving home. And what might be nice is to take in an older child from foster care who is turned away from their family for being transgender. I have worked with a few kids who have had this happen. And having a parent who understands what it's like to be transgender would be incredibly beneficial. This was just a bit of information on hormones. Keep watching other videos to find out more. If you found this video helpful, then please remember to like, share, subscribe, and if you can afford to do so, make a donation to my student loans, which exceed $100,000. Thank you.